Such machines are also quite relevant for independent amateur projects. They allow you to make tiles and curbs or cinder blocks. With Vibromaster standard 260V1 molding cycle takes from 60 to 90 seconds. So it is quite realistic to reach, for example, 260 blocks per shift, especially if you work with a team of 2 people. There are a lot of molds for Vibromaster standard 260V on the market. There is even a variant that allows you to make blocks with a bite on one side longer and wider, so you can direct your building enthusiasm to a wide variety of projects, from staircase walkways to 3-story houses. Purchase such a useful machine is offered for $32. You can change the curtains and wallpaper even every month, but you can't do that with walls. That's why the developers remind us, hot block is extremely important to choose the material for them carefully. Otherwise, it will be uncomfortable in the house. Why should you buy exactly hot block? Here are a few advantages according to the developers. First, these blocks are quite light, since they consist of expanded clay concrete and polystyrene foam. Second, they are larger than bricks, so the work is much faster. On a square meter of wall will be enough about 7 pieces. And third, the blocks are equipped with a tongue and groove system, which saves mortar on vertical joints. And of course, the coarse block is vapor permeable, but at the same time very effective in terms of thermal insulation solutions. According to analysts at the Ember Center, more than 60 countries will generate about 10% of their electricity with wind and solar in 2022. A great review summarizing the Heliotech team's development. They've made an organic photohalomonic film. It's like a solar panel, but thinner, less than 1 inch, and it's also flexible, lighter, and a quarter more efficient. In South Korean projects, 712 films on one building provided a peak power output of 37.7 kilowatts. Another unusual feature of Heliotech's development is the different colors. The film can be made blue, gray, or green. Since it transmits 50% of light, it is suitable for windows, creating a shading effect. And in some cases during installation, it will be possible to do without fasteners. It will be enough to put the film on the glue. For lovers of interior works, we have also found a very original thing. This is EverPanel, space delimitation panels. Do you want to make several rooms in the loft or divide the areas of responsibility in the office? It doesn't matter. EverPanel will always help you out. 2 people are enough, and a 100 feet long wall will stand up in about half an hour. That is, even a small team can work on many orders in a day. Sounds profitable, especially since you can start projects in 3D Constructor. So the client will clearly see the future result. And there is no need to worry about tools. EverPanel panels are joined and separated manually. A wall with a length of 9 feet and a height of 7 feet will cost $2,985. Perry UK is one of the world's largest formwork manufacturers, which means you can't go past its developments. Fortunately, there is plenty to see. Perry Skydeck formwork is so versatile that it is suitable for both residential and industrial construction. It can be used for slab thicknesses up to and including yards. Depending on the specifics of the project in general and the concrete in particular, Perry Skydeck can be removed after only 24 hours. The formwork is aluminum, so it is quite light. The heaviest component weighs 33 pounds. However, Skydeck can withstand loads of up to 330 pounds per square meter and is therefore perfectly suited even for large-scale projects such as the 3-tower Southgate Plaza development in London. Experts once calculated how much drinking water is lost in the United States due to deteriorating pipes, and it turned out that about 528 billion gallons are poured into nowhere every year. If very roughly, that's half of the Mediterranean Sea. So, SPR technology is one of those technologies that is needed even yesterday. It can fix pipes made of any material, from plastic to concrete, and it doesn't require digging up half the street. An SPR repair looks like this. A pipe layer climbs into the old pipe and pulls a flexible plastic profile like a huge spider. The new pipe is formed from it coil by coil. Do not worry about the reliability of the profile. It is not simple, but with the rest of the reinforcement. In this way, you can give a second life to pipes with a diameter of up to 18 feet, and SPR repair is also very environmentally friendly. The amount of machinery needed is many times less, which means that there are not so many emissions. Wood, but made of concrete? What kind of magic? Now these masters will show you how it works. Everything starts with formwork. A steel bar of square cross-section is recommended. Next, pouring concrete. With it, there is also a nuance. It is desirable that it contains fiber and plasticizer. The resulting solution is required to smooth and, without waiting for drying, turn into a tiramisu. Okay, in fact, this is a powder tint for concrete. It will provide the desired wooden color. Take a break. We wait until the moisture is gone and then the fun begins. It's time to make the surface look boarded up. To do this, we use stamping. If you bother, you can even add imitation nails. And of course, do not forget about the expansion and expansion joint, and a good finishing touch will be varnish. Enviromesh craftsmen specialize in working with gabions, that is, they make frames that are then filled with fluffy material like crushed stone or large stones. The resulting blocks can be used to build a retaining wall, a fence, an unusual building exterior, and many other useful things. Enviromesh is willing to take on even large projects. For example, the screen shows an incredible amount of work: 18 layers of geogrid and 2,000 cubic yards of welded gabions. The final structure protects one of the British slopes from erosion and people from rockfalls. The company writes that the average turnaround time is 5 to 7 days and even offers such an unusual service as Gabion landscape design. SmartMix is an innovation in the world of construction, the developers believe. This is a bold statement considering the fact that this compound appeared on the US market in the early 80s. What is it for? SmartMix replaces masonry mortar, and it does it really effectively. Where 45 pounds of mortar was required, 1 pound of SmartMix is enough. In addition, the composition is suitable for applying a thin enough layer, which allows you to save on plaster. Plus, the work with SmartMix is neater and up to 3 times faster compared to mortar. Bricks or blocks? It does not matter. The main thing is that they should be relatively clean, without sand and oil traces. SmartMix dries in about 72 hours, and the open package can be sealed and stored for up to 30 days without loss of quality. To put it simply, EPS, these are balls for thermal sound and vibration insulation. And if we go deeper into chemistry and other sciences, then on the screen, expanded polystyrene foam. The material has a honeycomb structure, and 98% consists of air, known as the best heat insulator on our planet. Not counting, of course, the expensive inert gases. As a result, EPS balls are 20% more efficient than standard fiber insulation. They also don't crack, don't settle, don't fear water, and don't rot. A few small holes are most often enough to fill cavities, so plus the savings on materials and tools. Also, the company EcoSpray Foam Systems, whose masters you see on the screen, covers the balls with a layer of glue. This prevents them from falling out of the walls during further repair work. We're in the city of Leerdam, Netherlands. One of the local houses would be lucky enough to go down in history. It was the first in Europe to receive a prefabricated elevator from Cone. Previously, residents were tormented in a cramped cubicle, frankly not even ready for wheelchairs and ambulance gurneys. And now, there is a Cone Monospace 500 in the house. This new elevator can accommodate up to 15 people, withstands up to 2,500 pounds, and travels between floors at a speed of 5 feet per second. The elevator has a height limitation of 230 feet, but no more is needed as this model is designed for low to mid-rise homes. Customers can choose from 52 variants of cabin design and order not one elevator, but a whole group of up to 4 pieces. All fences are like fences, but Modular Walls has a premium solution for modern cities. Installation is done in 4 simple steps: pits, posts, rails, panels. There are options with flush mounting. If desired, the fence can be made brighter. Acrylic paint is perfect for this. The height of the panel reaches 7 feet. The thickness, 2 inches. They are perfectly combined with lighting and other accessories, and also slightly muffled noise. Modular Walls writes that the installation is well within the power of the buyer himself. Good news if you know the price for 1 square meter of fence from $89 without taxes, delivery, and installation. But what did you want? Premium class. Now it's time to work on the pipes. In order not to leak anywhere, craftsmen use such solutions known under the common name of penetrations. There are a lot of variants in use because the penetrations are made for smoke, ventilation, and other pipes. The diameters also do not have to complain. You can easily seal holes with a diameter of at least 4 inches, even 24 inches. Yes, and compatibility with roofing materials is a wide range. Even on shingles or on corrugated sheet components will stand as required. For example, the solution is called Master Flash, which is a plastic cone easily mounted on a corrugated surface at an angle of 45 degrees. Find the sinkers on sale for about $16 each. We usually spend more than 90% of our time in various rooms according to LikeOS. By an unbelievable coincidence, it is ready to make these very rooms much more pleasant and lively. It is enough to put this modular garden and a boring office will literally play with new colors. The plant box garden is made of self-watering modules. 1 square meter weighs about 150 pounds. So for reliability, plant box is usually attached to a supporting wall. It is quite easy to adjust the dimensions. The height should be a multiple of 8 inches and the width 24 inches. The depth of the garden is 6 inches. The plant is chosen by the client. Additional waterproofing is not necessary, and with watering will quite cope with automation. Or you can turn it on yourself via Wi-Fi once every 2 weeks. Critics will say that it is not a good idea to use cement bags in this way. However, this craftsman is unlikely to serve them. He has already wasted effort, money, and rebar, and a decent amount of time since he waited a whole winter. Thanks to water and the forces of nature, the bags have hardened properly. If you want, you can peel off the packaging, but for now, the master is busy with further leveling of the site. I wonder if he is working on a whim or on instructions from the network. In any case, such a wall is a simple, rather budget option, which can be done even by self-made people. The main thing is not to get tired carrying bags weighing dozens of kilograms each. Derrick specialists believe that wood is the building material of the future. Statistics speak in their favor. For example, in the USA, the share of wooden houses in the total volume of construction was above 90%, and in Japan it is above 40%. In addition, reminds Derrick's, specialized forestry farms are actively working so that the issues with ecology are settled. In general, it is time to take on large-scale tasks, such as the expansion of Oslo Airport. For this project, Derrick's engineers chose glulam and oak laths, and successfully added about 120,000 square feet of space to the terminal. Other Derrick's projects also look worthy. For example, in the German city of Mulheim an der Ruhr, there is a wooden hangar for airships with a span of more than 130 feet, 1,500 parts created with millimeter precision and 82+ feet of height. It's beautiful. The Westenbert Arboretum is of interest for several reasons. Firstly, it is quite large, about 600 acres. Secondly, it is patronized by Camilla, the British Queen Consort. And thirdly, it is where this magnificent walkway stands. It rises on 50 solid larch supports, stretches for 980 feet, and allows you to enjoy the view from a 40-foot height. The customers wanted the walkway to be relevant all year round, comfortable for people with disabilities as well as not damaging tree roots. An important point, because the construction was taking place in the densest part of the Arboretum. Bureau Happold specialists took on this very difficult challenge, and thanks to the experience of working closely together with representatives of the Arboretum, as well as Autodesk robot programs, they coped perfectly. What a new attraction. Another construction issue, which means another formwork. This time, let's evaluate the option from Max Frank. The specialists from this company have helped with projects such as the railway station in Born, Switzerland, and the waste treatment plant in Kalmar, Sweden, so they know their business and use the latest technology. Pecafil formwork is one of them. It comes in 2 versions. The first one is a classic, which is perfect for strip foundations. The second one is distinguished by the increased size of the panels, which, moreover, are made of groundwater-neutral material. This formwork is useful for reinforcing the walls of excavations. Both Pecafil variants are suitable for manual work, do not require heavy machinery, and are environmentally friendly. And they are good for both fixed and reusable formwork. Gate Precast also has its own plans for building facades around the world. It offers gate light. These are panels that form an additional outer shell. They look like parts from a toy house, but they carry very real benefits. For one thing, gate light is fast. The panels are delivered to the site assembled, including with the windows installed. Workers only have to put them together like parts of a construction kit. Secondly, the panels provide air, thermal, and vapor insulation. This means that they are suitable even for facilities such as hospital schools with high demands on these aspects. And thirdly, gate light is a solution that complies with the NFPA 285 fire resistance standard. Alucobond is the world market leader in aluminum composite panels. They are beautiful and durable, and if necessary, they can be customized according to the customer's wishes. For example, it is possible to order non-combustible filler between the sheets. All this is fine, but why should customers choose Alucobond panels? Let's think about it. The world leader probably has someone cheaper. That's when the company pulls out of its sleeve a trump card called Easy Fix. This mounting system is a kind of hybrid, combining the reliability of installation as with welding and ease of operation, characteristic of the installation of cassette panels. EasyFix is suitable for horizontal and vertical installation, as well as for working with 2-inch wide profiles. And of course, it is a concealed installation option, which means that aesthetics will also be at its best. Aztec is a pool that buyers can easily assemble on their own. After leveling the surface and installing the concrete slab, a team of 3 people usually takes between 5 and 8 hours. At the same time, buyers can either choose one of the standard pool shapes or order a unique one. In any case, the design will be so well thought out that all its components will pass through an ordinary doorway. It is not for nothing that the developers have issued a patent. Also, the pool will please with stainless steel hardware and materials resistant to mold, UV radiation, abrasion, and corrosion. And the 10-micron water filter features a large capacity and lasts about a month. Aztec manufacturers in Europe and offer a 10-year warranty. Good office acoustics help employees concentrate 48% better and reduce their stress by 27%. And poor acoustics in a hospital can cause patients' blood pressure to rise and their heart rate to increase. That's why Bi-Vino panels are an essential upgrade for virtually any room. Thanks to the combination of the lamella structure and felt backing, sounds are absorbed rather than reflected. This applies to a wide frequency spectrum, for example from 125 to 4000 Hz, as well as unwanted resonances. The panels can even be fixed to walls with a 1.8-inch gap if required, and they also have the unique feature of being the industry's only flame-retardant felt solution. It meets the IAN 13823 standard, which applies at ES level. The developers of the unique polyester felt are to be thanked for this.